Hello and welcome to the Elevator Pitch, hosted by yours truly, Sam Borders.
And Trace Maloney, the show where we create two movies and pitch them head-to-head against each other. For those of you who don't know, an elevator pitch is a short description or plot of a movie so it can be pitched to executives in a clear way. Right before we get into this, I'll just say, leave the show a rating or review. Share it with your friends. We'd love to hear from you. We love the interaction with
We love
people. We love you. I know we're rushing into this, but we love you. Also, just to explain the show to anyone who this might be their first episode.
Got two wheels.
We have two wheels, a wheel of movie genres and a wheel of movie stars. 50 actors, 50 actresses.
Spin them.
Spin them twice. We spin each each wheel twice to create a movie from scratch. Then we do the whole process over again, and like we said in the intro, we pitch them at the end head to head against each other.
It's like if you opened your fridge, grabbed two ingredients, and then grabbed two cooking utensils and tried to make something with it.
It typically goes as good as that would. Anyway, let's get into this. No dilly-dallying.
What's our first genre?
Our first genre for our first movie
is
a thriller. Thriller. Okay. Yeah, it kind of fits. We're getting into October.
That's right.
It's about that time.
Month.
Spooky. It's Spooktober. Okay. All right. So what else? The second genre is a period piece. I've already got an idea, so let's
okay.
Let's continue.
Okay, let's see.
Before I spill the beans, let's get our stars of the film.
Yeah, who's starring in this one?
Our first star is Christina Ricci. If I'm not mistaken, she was the little girl in Casper.
Sure. That sounds right.
Well, let me just... Yeah, she was also Wednesday Addams in the Addams Family movies.
Oh, okay. All right.
But she's all grown up now.
Okay.
Anyway.
Sorry, I didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
I know. I knew you as a listener. I didn't know your work.
Yeah.
Anyway, who's the next person?
Our second star of this film is Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, this work. Do you know who that is? Do I need to explain that one?
You know what? I do know who Leo is.
Okay. Here's my idea. We have a thriller that it needs to be a period piece. Jack the Ripper.
Okay, sure.
You're so nonchalant about it.
I mean, hey.
Is it a good
All
idea?
Right, what's our next movie?
What?
No, that works for me. Yeah, sure.
I mean, I just felt like, what's the most thrilling thing?
The spirit moved you, so to speak.
So to speak, Jack the Ripper, So yeah, Jack the Ripper, infamous never caught serial killer, slashed up women in the streets of London.
Well, we have Leo.
We have Leo. That's what I was thinking. Is he going to be the titular Jack?
His name's not Jack, though, he did play Jack in Titanic.
That's true. But
so what if this is the same character who went back in time through...
There is a wormhole underwater.
Everybody thinks that he let go, but he got sucked through a time wormhole. A time hole.
A time hole.
And he went back and he...
Yeah, and now he's in...
What happened?
Now he's in 1800s London.
Why did he start killing people?
He's terrified. He's scared.
He doesn't know what's happening.
He doesn't know what's happening. He thinks he's dreaming, so he just goes hog wild.
What?
This can't be the idea.
Well, I don't know. We've talked about it for a little bit.
We've talked about other ideas. This can't be the fact that this can't be a secret. Oh, okay. No, I'm sold. You remember how that movie?
No, I'm sold. I changed my mind completely.
Do you
I've completely 180'd on this in a matter of seconds.
Do you remember how
21st night of
that
September?
movie?
I do.
Shut up. Do you remember how that movie? Oh, what was that? It was that movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan, starring the new Professor X, James McAvoy.
What is that? Split.
Do you remember how that was a secret sequel to
Yes.
Unbreakable?
Uh-huh.
Jack the Ripper is a secret prequel to Titanic.
Yeah, so it's just going on and on and on.
But it's also a secret. It's both a secret sequel and a secret prequel. You know? Because
what about this?
Yeah.
I had another idea that maybe is the worst idea we've ever had.
Okay.
What if he gets sucked into the time hole, right?
I thought you were going to have like a different idea, but we're just building off the time hole thing.
Yes, I'm building off of this.
Okay.
What if somehow this put multiple versions of Jack into 1800s London? And so he is also the detective looking for himself.
So this
people.
is basically just like an Eddie Murphy movie where
it's kind of like the
Leonardo-
Nutty Professor meets a slasher meets Titanic meets I don't know, meets lots of things.
Meets lots of things is the thing.
I'm really happy that we had such a good idea and then we decided to have a bad idea.
I don't remember. I mean, I did start to go along with it, but
Yeah, you gave in.
I did
You
give
were
in to peer
weak-willed.
pressure. Okay, see,
And now we're here.
here's the thing. I might want to try to work backwards. Let me look something up.
Okay.
I'm gonna look up when Jack the Ripper was active.
When that happened.
Yeah, like what were the 1888. When did the Titanic
I got
sail?
another idea, though. I got another idea.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this one?
Uh-huh.
He's a vampire.
Okay, why?
And that way he lives forever. It's like Twilight rules, where he like looks the same. So it's like back then he was Jack the Ripper. But then when we get to Titanic,
That was only like a 30-year difference.
Also he'd have to be like a reverse vampire, or like he would kind of Benjamin Button-esque, because Leo's not as young as he was in Titanic.
That's what I'm saying. But here's the thing. Did you ever see the movie The Irishman, where they made Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro look younger, even though they're like 80 years old?
Well, I guess we could do that.
Digitally de-age. I mean, it didn't look great, but...
Well, here's my other thing. If we do the time hole plan,
yeah.
which is something I never thought I would say.
Well, here's the thing, is that... I know that you said here's the thing, but now I'm adding another thing.
Okay, let's keep piling stuff on.
You've committed to the time hole. Therefore, dragging me into the time hole with you back to the 1800s.
Yes, we're both back there too.
I'm with you.
Okay.
So, anyway.
Trace is in.
So what's your...
Are you guys in?
Everyone has to be in. No one else has a say in this. They just get to say if the end product is good or bad.
It's bad. I can tell already. But, well, the good thing about the time hole is we could just say, like, it plopped him back how many ever years, and then now he started killing people after 30 years of being trapped in the past or something.
Okay, so this is okay. This movie came out in 1997.
Yes.
How old would Leonardo DiCaprio have been?
Well, we could just... He's roughly 20 years older.
So
23 to be exact.
Okay, so that is...
So he gets trapped...
He would have been like 23 42 or something. Because
He's young.
He's like middle 40s. So he, instead of getting trapped in the 1880s when Jack the Ripper was active, he gets trapped in the 1860s.
Yes, and he spends 20 years trying to get out, and then he realizes he can't, and he goes crazy.
The fact that he's been teleported back to another time is... But here's the thing. We don't start with him getting teleported back. We start while he's Jack the Ripper, and then slowly and surely we reveal that this is Jack Dawson. I think that was his name, from the Titanic.
That sounds right.
I never saw that movie.
You never saw Titanic?
No.
Well, it would be really helpful if you had, so that we could kind of... He sketches.
Yeah, no, he's
that?
an artist.
He's an artiste.
It is Jack Dawson.
Here's one of the weird things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was in 1912, so that's only like 30 years ago that Jack the Ripper happened.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I was saying. That's why like I wanted to get to the end to figure out as to where he's like...
I would love it. I wish that it had worked out differently to where he was like in his maybe 30s or something when he did it, so that we could have the scene where he sees himself as a baby.
Well, that's what I was kind of like getting to.
That's what you're getting to?
Is like, because he gets teleported instead of to the 1880s to like the 1860s or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he would be like, how old would he be by that point? He would be like a 60-year-old man by the time the Titanic came around, 60 or 70.
Yeah.
And so he's like one of the old people on the ship looking for his once love.
Yeah. And they like re-release the Titanic movie, and there's like an edited scene where you see an old man Leo going out going, don't get on the boat, don't get on the boat.
They edited him in.
Please stop, don't do it. You'll get sucked back in time and kill people. And then he gets arrested
Because he's crazy.
because he's psychotic.
Here's my big concern. Well, I guess it's not really that big of a concern. I was going to say that according to Wikipedia, he is he's from Wisconsin? I lost where I was reading that. But it doesn't matter because it says like he was traveling the world anyway.
He went through time. You think we can't just like plop him over in England?
Well, I'm just saying, like he was like, yeah, that doesn't matter.
We are in complete control.
Yeah, this doesn't. We don't need to worry about every.
It's not an issue here.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about the plot holes. We just got to do what we got to do.
We got to worry about the time holes.
The time holes. Okay, so you said...
Is that the name of the movie?
Time holes? I was imagining it being like The Ripper or something, or maybe just like Jack.
Ripper, and the poster is exactly the same as Titanic, except he's like stabbing a lady instead of... I forget what the poster looks like, but I remember his face is on it.
Yeah, it's him and her in an embrace, and then a big, like the bow. I would imagine that's what the bow is of the Titanic. So I'm just imagining maybe a knife as he stabs a lady. So the knife replaces the Titanic.
Well, I was thinking maybe like this. You see the city of London, where the Titanic is, and then you see a knife. We're really putting a lot on you.
Yeah.
Because we are describing the movie poster.
Well, I could just literally take them from the Titanic poster and try to age him up a little bit.
I guess you could. Well, let's not worry about that. We need to actually make a movie now that we have the concept.
Yeah. The big thing is we got to make it still thriller-y.
Well, yeah, you don't even know that the Titanic is involved. And we spent like 15 minutes on that.
Alone.
Like last 10 minutes of the movie where you're like, what?
Titanic sequel / prequel?
And you're like, why?
Okay. Well, wait. The last the last 15 minutes is just like an abridged version of the movie The Titanic.
We gotta have the thing where he comes up and he's telling him not to get on the phone.
Yeah. That's like right at the very end.
Yeah.
The last 15 minutes is an abridged version of the Titanic. You see young Leo, a la like how they do in Star Wars Rogue One.
Yeah.
Where it's like his face on someone else. So they do that. And then we just do the rest of, like, a shortened version of the rest of the movie to get to the end where the last, like, 5 minutes is him getting sucked into the time hole and waking up in 1860s London.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I wanted to... I said earlier I wanted to work from the back. That's what I wanted to work towards. Is this abridged version of the movie Titanic, where he at the very end gets sucked through the time hole to 1860s London. So the rest of the movie has to be.
So what's the rest of the movie? It's just like a Jack the Ripper movie.
That's the thing. So I kind of want to maybe do maybe he's like.
We need to get her in here.
I totally forgot about Christina Ricci.
I'm sorry.
I was so focused on Jack the Ripper.
So focused on Leo.
Well, so Jack the Ripper's big thing was that he killed prostitutes. Okay. So maybe, and I hate to do this to Christina Ricci, but maybe she's a prostitute.
What if she's a time cop?
Now, we can't keep doing the time thing. That's the last 15 minutes. That's
she's a time cop who's come back
okay,
from the future.
Okay, maybe. I'll stick with this idea.
We don't have to stick with this. This is a joke. It was a joke.
No. Listen.
No, I'm sorry.
You learned that in the last 15 minutes. We said that he gets arrested while he's trying to tell his younger self not to get on the boat. So maybe Christina Ricci time cop arrests him.
Is she a time cop now?
We don't have to stick with that. You said time cop, and I was just trying to figure out a way to go with it.
Well, I'm just... What do we want her to be then?
I was gonna say that...
Is she a plain old detective?
I said that she's gonna be a prostitute.
But then she just dies.
That's what I was gonna... Or maybe she's not a prostitute. Maybe she's just like a woman that... I'm imagining this is kind of like...
Oh, okay.
Todd Phillips' Joker 2019. Where he is kind of like down on his luck because he, traveled from the future and is stuck in the past. And he is like going crazy because he doesn't understand it. And it's just, he's like down on the world keeps beating him down, beating him. And then he like is infatuated with Christina Ricci.
Okay.
And she says no, or maybe he pushes something too far because he's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy now. I don't know how the fans of Titanic are going to feel about that, but...
Well, they won't watch the movie. They'll just...
I guess that's true.
They'll fast forward to the last 15 minutes and they'll be like, oh.
They'll look up the ending on YouTube.
Yeah. We'll make some big fucking headlines with this film, I'll just say. Imagine IGN and Rotten Tomatoes, like, secret Titanic movie.
What?
So that's what I was thinking. Maybe she's like either a prostitute or a woman who just like turns him down. Because there's so little known. It's all speculation when people talk about Jack the Ripper. There's so little known about him.
Well, what I was thinking is, what if she's nearly killed? Yeah. Or something. Or maybe, like, her friend gets killed. And so she takes some vigilante justice
Turns into Batman.
Tries to work with the police. They're like, can't help you, and she turns into Batman.
Okay.
And then we get the superhero fans in here.
Yeah. I like this movie.
1800s Batgirl versus Jack from Titanic as Jack the Ripper.
This is the best movie ever made.
I don't think that's true at all.
I think we've made a better parody movie than when we actually got a parody movie.
This isn't a parody movie. I don't know what this is.
It's like
this movie.
Well, it's like an amalgamation parody of Titanic, just like a slasher movie and Batman.
It would be closer to like epic movie, and I'm not happy about that.
Epic.
And then Jack Sparrow's here, and he's drunk or whatever.
And then, what we'll do is
here comes the Hulk.
We'll make references.
He punched Jack Sparrow. And then he farted on him.
What we'll do is we'll make references to movies that haven't even come out yet. So like movie trailers that are out. And then like completely miss the point of the trailer. But then by the time that the movie itself comes out, like the movie we're making, all of those jokes will already be way dated.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when someone tries to watch it, even like maybe 2 years later, they don't get it anymore.
They're like, this is not good.
This is not good.
I mean, they're going to think that anyway, but...
We have to stay on track.
Yeah, we do. So, she's taken the law into her own hands. Do you like that?
I think so, because that could lead to some suspense. Like where she's like...
And maybe eventually he finds out that she's after him. So now they're chasing each other, basically.
The hunted.
Yeah, and he
leads to the signature rooftop scene. You're not so different, you and I.
Yes, we've got to say that at least once every episode.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "No, really, I'm nothing like you. You don't know what I've been through.
You don't know what I've been through. I was born this year."
He crosses his arms. He goes, "Have you been through a time hole?"
He goes, Did
you get on a boat that sank?
I was canonically born this year. It's 1890. This was the year I was born.
Yeah, I mean.
And she's like, what?
That doesn't sound like your situation, does it?
She's like, what? You're like 50 years old. And he's like, I know.
I know. It's crazy.
But yeah, so yeah, maybe, I like what you said. It's her friend gets killed.
Bam.
Because if it's her who almost gets killed, then... Like, if she were to get stabbed, that was basically death in the 1800s. Because they would, like, operate on a horse and then not clean their hands and then, like, go rummage around in a human's intestines. So, it's her friend who dies, I would say.
Yeah. And then maybe the cops are on the case, too, and she's trying to get to him before the cops get to him.
Well, maybe her friend isn't the first one who dies, and she knows that this Jack the Ripper... has eluded capture thus far, mostly because most of his victims are poor and they're like outcasts in society, prostitutes. So they don't really look into him as deeply.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, and we'll get like real, like a message in there as well. This is crazy.
We're going for that Oscar.
We're going for the Oscar with
Oscar.
with the time traveling Jack the Ripper movie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, why not shoot for it, right?
So yeah,
we've already got so much shit in this movie. Why not put a little bit more?
And then when they were both up for Oscars. Because they'll both be up for Oscars.
Yeah, of course.
The scene that they'll play is we're not so different, you and I.
Yeah, and he's gonna go. We are.
I beg to differ. We are extremely different.
Yeah.
And that scene plays, and then everyone claps at the Academy Awards.
And then Leonardo DiCaprio kind of looks and goes, and he kind of nods his head and kind of half smiles. Because it's always awkward to watch yourself do anything. and then people clap, and you're like, oh, stop.
Stop it. I don't know. I feel like we pretty much got it. It's just a
You know, it's just your run of the mill
Jack the Ripper time travel
time
movie.
portal Titanic movie. I mean, they're a dime a dozen, honestly.
I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna roll up and die. I don't know what else to add.
I don't know what else to say. We got the plot.
Let's just quickly go through it again, just so everyone's on board with us.
Right,
we all know what we're talking about.
I think we start with her, and we get to know her.
Okay, she's of course the protagonist.
Yes.
So it starts with her. Maybe there's like the world building of, you know, in the shadier sides of London, women are ending up dead.
Yeah. Then hijinks happens.
Hijinks ensues.
I shouldn't call a murder a hijinks, but
I mean, I don't know. It
ensues.
Yeah. So
friend's dead.
Yeah, maybe
she catches a glimpse of his face or something.
They're walking together.
She rips his mask off.
They're like walking together. Her friend. And they're walking together because people are ending up dead, and they both are poor, and they're living in the shady side of London.
Yeah, and he leaps down from the rooftops like Batman.
He has a
cracks
cape.
Her spine.
Yeah, he breaks their arms for like a minor offense, like Batman would. No, but he attacks. Knocks Christina Ricci out. He strikes. He knocks Christina Ricci out. Kills her friend. Christina Ricci, he like starts to go for Christina Ricci, but then someone walks up on him. Like someone from the other side of the street goes, "Oi!" yells, and he runs off. What's all this in? And he runs off.
Yeah, maybe I think she needs to catch a glimpse of his face or have some sort of clue to pursue.
Maybe, I'll say a glimpse of his face. So she doesn't get knocked out completely.
Yeah.
She gets like hit in the head, and it's like, you know, those scenes in movies where it's like the camera is like it's her point of view, and it's like shaky. And
we've got the shaky cam going. Everybody's about to puke.
Yeah, I'm motion sick. So she starts to pursue this lead. You know,
yes.
she goes to the police, but it's the 1880s and no one really cares. She realizes that that's a dead end. Like, they aren't going to do it. They can't do anything for her.
Yeah.
She takes it.
So she takes the law into her own hands. Tracks him down.
Eventually,
he turns the tables.
Yeah, he turns. So they're like in this cat and mouse game where they're both simultaneously the cats and the mice.
Yeah, a cat mouse game.
Inside of a cat mouse game.
This is such a good movie.
So good. I can't wait for the Oscar season. So they are, chasing each other. He's like killing people still.
Yeah.
She's following him. She gets a jump on him. Like, she follows him to what she thinks is his house. Gets the jump on him, but he evades. You know, there's that suspenseful scene where she's sneaking in. He notices her. And then there's like a brief little kerfuffle, but he evades capture.
And I think, let's just jump to the end. He's about to kill her. And he's like, what's your name before I kill you, or whatever. She's like, it's Rose. And then he's like, why did you say that name?
No, that can't. Her name is not Rose.
Come on.
Oh, we can't throw Batman v Superman into this.
Martha.
Okay, her name is Rose. No, I like it. Her name is Rose, and that stops him from killing her.
And he stumbles backwards.
He leans into the light, and you see it's Leonardo DiCaprio. You have yet to see that it's really him.
Yeah.
He leans into the light, and you see it's him.
He's got a paintbrush behind his ear, so you know.
He's got a little sketch pad.
He holds up that picture that he drew in Titanic.
But it's all like watery. It's like wet.
Yeah, it's super old.
It's still wet, even though it's been like 20 years.
Is this you?
I found you. And she's like, what?
Get away from me.
Get away from me, what? And he goes, no. You're not Rose's last name from the Titanic.
Yeah. And then she gets away, and he slips away too, and then we get to that future scene where...
The last 15 minutes. Maybe there's like a setup scene to where it's like, 30 years later. You see on the harbor, you see a big ship. You don't know it's the Titanic yet, but you have a good guess because it says 1912 United Kingdom. And you're like, whoa, that's a big ship. It looks unsinkable. And then this old man is like hurrying towards the ship.
Old Leo.
Titanic on the side.
Yeah.
And then the reason that he gets stopped is Christina Ricci does finally catch up to him and kill him. 30 years later, she does kill him.
He's going, no, don't get on there. He's yelling to his younger self. And then knife in the back. Roll credits. Sets
up. Well, no, not roll credits yet. There's still 15 minutes of movie. The whole like time travel thing.
All right, we do need to have the time hole happen.
Yeah,
I forgot
to set up the end, and then that way, if you were to cut the credits and put the end in, like if you were to put the whole movie at the end, it would line up almost perfectly.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then but maybe we set up a sequel where maybe Christina Ricci, who is Rose,
she slips and falls through a time hole.
Oh, I was gonna say that now that she's killed someone, she is like Rose the Ripper.
Ah, gotcha.
Or maybe she does slip and fall through a time hole.
Who cares? We got everything, right? What's the name?
What? Just Jack
the Ripper.
The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. Which one?
Ripper. Because it's like Ripper. Titanic.
Oh yeah. Plus, that's like the cool thing that they do now when they make a movie. It's just like one word.
One inside.
Babadook.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
Bye, man.
That fucking title sucks. Anyway.
Let's do the next movie.
Yeah, let's get the next one.
Maybe this next movie will be better.
What do you mean better? Anyway.
I mean, I hope it's better. Isn't that what we're hoping for?
That is the hope. Okay. Anyway.
What's the first genre?
First genre for our second movie is sci-fi.
Sci-fi. We had a little sci-fi in the last one.
We did have a little sci-fi, but we
touch of sci-fi.
Just like a smidge, a dot of sci-fi. A
skosh.
If you will. Okay. Sci-fi, but it's a sci-fi. It's a family sci-fi movie.
Okay.
Sci-fi for the whole family. Okay. Our stars of said movie are Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Okay.
Tom Cruise and
Tom Cruise and
Jennifer Lopez. Tom Cruise and J-Lo.
Starring in this sci-fi family.
This family sci-fi film.
Okay.
Sci-fi.
I don't know what we get to.
Yeah.
But there's a silly robot in this movie.
Yeah, of course. There's like...
Is Tom Cruise a silly robot?
I was going to say that maybe they're like kooky inventors. And maybe...
Like Flubber?
Yeah, and maybe like the silly robot is like their companion.
Okay.
So maybe they're like an inventor couple.
Okay.
And they have like a silly robot. Maybe it's like a robot dog. or like,
Oh, Robot Dog's good.
and it talks though,
Yeah, of course. It's a talking robot dog.
voiced by Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, that's in the movie now.
Okay, so
So we have 3 characters.
we have 3 characters. We have
We
what's
don't
like-
even know if they're inventors yet. Our most solid character right now is a talking robot dog voiced by Patton Oswalt.
What's the dog's name?
Patton.
Patent, like you patent something.
Ozzy.
I'm trying to think of like
What about Rufus?
That's not bad. I do like Rufus. I just like that name though.
Rufus.
Okay,
Let's do
Rufus it is. I was gonna think of like Jimmy Neutron's not talking, but Robot Dog Goddard has like
Yeah.
it's kind of like a sciencey name. I was gonna think of one of those, but that's too much work.
Rufus.
I like Rufus. Rufus is
Okay.
good.
We need to come up with what this is.
Okay, so our best thing right now is that they're an inventor couple.
Yes, that is our current idea. Now, here's what I'm going to pose.
Okay.
This is how I think we have to approach this.
Okay.
What is the plot of the movie? What aspect of sci-fi can also relate to a family? How do we get those two working together? Because sci-fi is usually, I'm going to be honest, it's a little existentially horrifying most of the time.
It can be.
Like space is alone and empty and humanity is doomed.
Or, humanity sucks is another big one.
Yeah, that's a very common one.
Well, I think the sci-fi doesn't really come from the story. The sci-fi comes from the environment. Especially when you deal with like a family, because like the biggest sci-fi family film I can think of is, did you ever see that Disney movie Meet the Robinsons?
Yeah,
So it's like the little boy's an inventor.
that had
and
time travel.
It had time travel, but I don't want to take
Little
that.
boy fell through a time hole
It
and
wasn't
made
a
an
time
evil
hole.
hat.
It wasn't a time hole. It was a time machine. A time machine spaceship.
Yeah. Okay. Let's not worry about that.
Piloted by his secret son? Anyway.
I think so. It's very confusing.
So I was thinking that maybe like the sci-fi element, and like we tie it in with more of the environment type thing. So maybe there's more than just like a single robot dog. There's more robots. There's
I think I've got this.
flying cars and such. Yeah.
I know what the movie is about.
Okay.
So there's a kid or kids. They have kids.
Yeah.
Right? These children, they have to live with their crazy parents that invent crazy things,
These
right?
children die, and their parents
They don't die.
have to.
And they bring them back to life, like
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
No, okay. Anyway.
No. And so maybe at some point during it, they mess something up with their crazy gizmos.
Yeah.
And they are fed up with their parents. And so the message of the movie is to love your parents, I guess.
I was thinking, so I like that idea. I'm gonna give you another one, and we'll try to
Okay.
pick one.
Yeah, let's. I mean, this is an open space. We're just floating around trying to figure out, grab onto anything that is good.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe. So instead of time travel, because we've done time travel before.
Yes, one of our other sci-fi ones was time travel.
So what if we play with alternate dimensions? Maybe there's like so there has to be an antagonist,
Yeah.
I was thinking.
I mean, I guess.
Well, I was thinking that there's like maybe an evil corporation, and this evil corporation is run by some evil person, and they figure out dimensional travel.
Okay.
There's a big sci-fi aspect.
Yes.
And the dimensional travel leads them to an alternate dimension where they're like this big corporate puppeteer, and they're like running the country, and they're like, oh,
This is all very heady for a family movie.
well, it's silly still. And then the kids die.
When does our when does our family enter the story?
Well, that's what I like. So the antagonist is this evil like corporation, but it's not like evil
Dimension
enough.
jumping corporation.
But it's not evil enough to be like scary. It's just like they're like 80s villain. Ha ha ha. We dump toxic waste into lakes and whatever. And the family has to use their gadgets and gizmos to help save the world.
Oh, it's kind of a Spy Kids situation.
Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that. But yeah, that kind of... They're thumb people.
Yeah, I don't want to think about those anymore, so...
I think I like your idea better.
No, I mean, I think both of those ideas can... both be in the movie.
Okay, so yeah, what if we drop the alternate dimension
Okay.
and we just stick with an evil corporation?
Yeah, maybe they're trying to steal the secrets of their parents.
Yeah.
And they have to stop them.
Maybe if it's not even just a corporation, it's like another scientist.
Yeah, it's kind of a wacky, bad scientist.
No, Christopher Lloyd has played scientists in the past, popular scientists in the past.
I mean, he'll do anything, so
he
he'll be in
does
this
pretty
movie.
much anything, but what if he's like an old mad scientist?
What if he's Doc Brown and he fell through a time hole?
Now he's evil.
And now he's evil. He fell through an evil hole.
He fell through an evil time hole, which is the same time hole that, Jack Dawson
he fell through one too. No, but he's like I don't know if it's evil, and maybe like even at the end, it's like he comes around. That's how family movies work. And he's like, "I'm sorry that I've been
maybe
such a turd."
like his thing is he builds like a big robot or something.
Okay.
And it's like a big nasty robot, and it's smashing up the city. And he's like, "What have I done? What have I done?" And the existential like fear and his consequences catch up to him, and
he kills himself.
He shoots himself. No, he's like, "What have I done?" And he's like, I know that I've messed up in the past, and I know that I was, I've done bad things, like making a super disease and wiping out 30% of the population. But I
was thinking, here's my idea.
Okay.
Let's grab your other idea that you had. Let's bring that in. Let's staple it to this one. He makes a device that he thinks is going to vaporize the family, right?
So he's going to murder kids.
Yeah, he thinks he is.
Okay.
But they get warped to another dimension.
Okay.
Where things are crazy.
They get warped to another dimension where in this dimension he's good and the alternate version of them are evil.
They had to kill their family.
Well, they're not killing. We're not killing anyone.
No, that's a joke. And their parents are evil? Is that what you're getting at?
Oh, we're following the kids? I was imagining the whole family going over.
The whole family. Okay.
And then
they have to fight their evil doppelgangers?
That's what I was imagining.
That's pretty good.
It is. It
and
feels.
You get all that. You get all that great comedy of like, oh, the boy maybe he's like more athletic, and then this one's not at all, and that's very funny that they're different.
They're like opposites.
Yeah, it's like Bizarro.
So
Tom Cruise family.
Tom Cruise in the alternate universe has a mustache.
Yeah, no, I'm imagining him from Tropic Thunder again.
Les Grossman or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that
where
guy.
he's like a fat bald man who's just a real piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you real quick sidebar. I did not know that was Tom Cruise.
It's not surprising. It's quite the makeup job and stuff.
And he does a really good job.
And he'll do a great job in this movie too.
Yeah, of course.
Patton Oswalt dog is there too. Of course.
This time, okay. In this alternate dimension, it's an evil robot cat Voiced
Yes.
by, do you know Kristen Shaw? She does Louise from Bob's Burgers.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. I'm loving this.
Kristen Shaw
This is
is,
just such a fun star-studded
it
cast.
really is. And she shows up in a lot of places too. So it's, it's
Yeah.
she's not, hard to get, which is great. I love her. She's got an awesome voice.
Yes, I agree.
Um,
She's on board.
she's on board already. I don't even have to ask her. She's an evil robot cat named.
Yes.
Let's not worry about that.
Oh, you were trying to figure out Rufus backwards, weren't you?
Rufus Super.
Super.
Super. Yeah. So that's the.
What about just like mittens?
Yeah, something stupid. Let's not worry about.
Thanks.
Let's not worry about all the alternative names.
Yeah, let's not worry about the full tertiary cast and getting their names.
Yeah.
What's the evil doctor's name that Christopher Lloyd plays?
Doctor Robotnik.
No. That's already a thing.
Okay, Doctor. Like, what's a good evil name? Doctor Hitler.
I guess that's a good evil
That
name,
is a
but
good
I don't think
evil
that's
name.
appropriate.
No, I'm just trying to think of like mad scientist names.
I think it would just be like a sciencey term, like right, like Doctor Quasar or something like that.
He's like a super villain.
Yeah, basically, Doc Ock. Doc Ock is their neighbor, and he teleports into another dimension.
I like Dr. Quasar. It's obviously like a pseudonym.
Yeah, he calls himself that, even though his name's like Jimmy.
I was gonna say Jimmy. Or James to his friends. Or to his family.
Jimmy. His name's Jimmy Jimson normally,
But that kind of sucks.
yeah, they were like, "That's a dumb name." They say that's how they teased him,
And
They
that's
weren't
why
even,
he's
like, clever
evil.
about it.
Is that this family is kind of mean, and they teased him.
And I like that if they're the exact opposite, they're like, no, the Bizarro family would be like, I would never tease anyone about anything.
They
But
still
I-
still hate each other. Like this.
But they're very evil.
Alternate Dr. Quasar and this other family still hate each other, but they're like, that's too low. Like, that's low hanging
whoa.
fruit.
You guys did that?
And even though they like try to kill him every day. Not
This is
cool.
the stupidest movie.
I don't
What
know.
is the plot of this movie?
Well, we kind of.
Okay, they get warped to another dimension and they fight their Bizarro versions. Why? And then what?
So they
And
have
then
to
they go home, and they're all
their,
friends.
Their goal is to get back to their
The
dimension.
future.
The Back to the Future. Now their goal is to get back to their dimension, right?
Yeah, of course.
So remember how like you said earlier, Dr. Quasar steals this family's tries to steal this family's technology all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In this alternate reality, the family is successfully stealing Dr. Quasar's technology.
Ah, okay.
So he makes like this. He's like, okay, I can get you all back quickly. I can whip up a a fucking dimension ray, whatever it would be
yeah,
called.
whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a family movie.
Yeah, but he calls it his fucking dimension ray.
Yeah, he says that.
It'll be PG-13. So I mean, we get one.
So you can only say the name of the device once.
What was that device again? I legally can't say.
I can't remember. He turns the camera. He says, he holds up a piece of paper and he says, according to this, I legally cannot say what the name of the device is.
Again.
If you'd like to write your congressman to change this, please do so.
He looks into the camera and he says, "It's an election year." Anyway, so yeah, he's like, "I'll whip up this dimension ray for you and get you back to your dimension."
I think I know where you're going with this.
Evil cat steals the dimension ray.
Yeah. Boom.
Hijinks ensues.
Yeah, and then they're doing all sorts of crazy hijinks to get it back, and then they get it back, and then they go back and they learn that Dr. Quasar wasn't so bad. He just wanted a friend or something.
He's
like that.
misunderstood. He's not really evil. He's lonely, and that's why he steals from them.
Yeah, he really just wants to interact with people. He doesn't care about stealing their technology because he successfully made a thing that could teleport him to another dimension.
Wait.
What?
They get back to their dimension, and then they're like, oh, thank God. Someone knocks on the door. It's Dr. Quasar. Their Dr. Quasar.
Uh-huh.
The evil, air quote, evil Dr. Quasar.
Yeah. Hold on. Are you going to say that he's like, thank God you guys are back. I was so worried that I'd accidentally vaporized you all.
No. He says, I want to show you all something. And then he walks them over because you said that they...
he takes his pants off.
And then he gets arrested for sex crime. No, he walks over. He walks them over to his house because you said that they live next door.
Yes. Opens
the garage, and using all of their inventions that he's stolen, he's made them something. Like maybe artwork, or maybe he uses them all together to make like a fun playroom.
Who knows?
So he does something sweet with it, and then that's when they realize that he wasn't really evil.
He wasn't even bad.
And then they're like, "Why did you send us to an alternate dimension?" And he's like, "That was an accident. I shot my alternate dimension rod to test it, and it hit a mirror, and then hit you all."
So then I think there should be an extra twist where then they should realize that Bizarro Dr. Quasar was evil, and they had an explosive device in their house.
Yeah, but the Bizarro family wasn't evil.
Yeah, they were just actually trying to keep dangerous weapons out of this crazy person's hands. Do we get Shyamalan on to direct?
Maybe he directs both of the movies we've made.
He directs both of these because they're both very twisty.
That's great.
Oh, God. Now we have to come up with 30 names for all these characters.
So we've got Rufus. We've got Dr. Quasar. Tom Cruise. Mittens. Like we said, we're not caring about the alternate. Well, they'll all share the same names, other than
they have the same name.
Mittens. 2 parents, 2 kids. That's all I'm limiting to.
Yes. Daughter and son.
Daughter, son. Maybe we get Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Maybe let's just get Millie Bobby Brown as well. Let's just get them both.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It doesn't matter.
Everyone loves the Stranger Things kids.
That's right.
So the father, he's got to be a doctor too, because they're inventors.
Doctor, well, what's his actual name? Because that's probably what they'll call him most of the time. And Dad, they'll also say that. What if he's just credited as Dad?
Mom and Dad. That makes it easy for us.
That makes it easier, but we shouldn't do that. God, this part.
This part sucks. This part literally sucks, bro.
Can we just not?
Mom and Dad.
Fine, that's fine.
And then Dr. Quasar only refers to them as the Jones family or something.
Yeah.
You Jones family are always in my business.
Well, we got Jones. Let's just pick some names.
Okay.
Tom.
That was literally what I was thinking. Tom Jones. And
Jennifer
Jones. It's Tom Cruise. It's Tom Cruise. That's what you were joking about.
And Finn
Jones and Millie Jones.
There we go. We got it. But they're all different.
Millie is the mom.
We've
Finn
made
is the
this
dad.
joke before.
Tom is the son. Jennifer is the daughter.
Is the daughter. We've made this joke before, and I think we're just gonna do it this time because
Let's just actually do it.
why not? I'm honestly tired.
I hate the name process.
I hate the naming part. So that's what their names are.
The movie's like
Everyone's confused always.
yeah, but they're typically referred to as
The Joneses.
the Joneses. So
It won't be a problem.
no. I think
What's the name of this movie?
name. I was thinking like something like The Adventures
Of the Jones family.
The Adventures of the Jones Family, or like the Jones Family versus Dr.
Sure is a
Quasar.
pisser, isn't he?
Dr. Quasar is a fucking bastard. I just like The Adventures of the Jones Family.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like family enough, you know?
I think so.
It's kind of like stupid enough.
Yeah, it's dumb enough.
It's dumb enough. Fuck it.
Yeah, that works for me.
We had a great like concept, and then we were like, and let's get to the finer details. No one cares.
I don't know. We've done this so many times.
Well, the plot, I think I'm good with the plot. The plot's great.
Yeah, it's pretty much perfect.
It's pretty much the best movie ever made.
Anyway,
we're
gonna now pitch.
Yeah, let's get these pitches out of the way, bitches.
We're gonna pitch these head to head. Ripper, Rose Christina Ritchie, lives in the Victorian slums of London. After a string of killings by an unknown assailant leaves the city shaken, Rose and her friends stick together to survive the nights. Then he strikes, leaving Rose alone in the unforgiving London to avenge her friend's murder. She scours the city for her friend's killer, the man dubbed Jack the Ripper. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh God, there's just like a little. There's no. I'm glad we didn't include like a.
Oh yeah, it's a time hole.
There's a time hole.
I always forgot that part.
I don't think we forgot. It's just better that we didn't include it.
All right, you read yours.
I'm ready. Okay. The Adventures of the Jones Family. The Jones family looks like your average American family, but they are anything but that. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, Tom Cruise, and Jennifer Lopez are always whipping up some kind of crazy invention. But not if their crazy neighbor, Dr. Quasar, Christopher Lloyd, can help it. But it's all a day in the life of the Jones family.
Yeah, that's a movie.
It's a movie. I like how in the other one we were like, this is the plot, and in this one we were like, there's no plot. It's just a movie.
It's a movie. It almost sounds more like the synopsis of like a TV series.
That's true. Well, because the title, The Adventures.
Yeah, I think that
makes it seem like it.
Maybe
there
that's
are
what
multiple.
we're shooting for, is for a TV show afterwards, like Jimmy Neutron.
Everything's about franchises, baby.
That's right.
We gotta have a franchise. If there's no franchise, it's not successful. It doesn't matter if the movie flops or not. We just need more.
But let's cut the crap. Which of these is getting made?
Let's cut the shit now.
Neither.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it's got to be The Adventures of the Jones Family.
Yeah.
The other one can't be made ever.
Well, we'd have to get
would kill people when they saw it.
What who made, not who, like what company made Titanic?
I have no idea.
Whatever company it was, let's just say hypothetically it was MGM. We'd have to get them to like sign off on it. Like how? That's a bigger order than just pitching it to some executives. Like we could at least get The Adventures of the Jones Family like direct to Redbox. You know?
Yeah.
So I think just for the sheer fact that it'll be like we don't have to we don't have to make sure that we get a specific company to make it.
Yeah, and also, it sounds like something that could possibly exist.
Yeah, like there's so many kind of shitty family movies that come out all the time.
Yeah, I
Like
feel like they're
they'll
not
get a
as
lot
common
of.
now.
I don't know.
Maybe
I feel
I'm
like
just
they're
not
just
paying
not
attention.
Well, to be fair, you're kind of out of the loop when it
I
comes
guess that's true.
to.
I'm not like watching all the family movies.
Yeah, so it's definitely not as common. I will agree with you there. But still, it's like, in other, like, especially on like in the age of streaming, they'll make like a lot of, like, Netflix makes so many Netflix originals that are just like they get dumped. Like, you hear about some of them, like Stranger Things comes out and everyone's like, fucking yeah, or whatever other big Netflix original things come out. But there are so many smaller ones that just get shoved to the back.
Yeah,
That you have to, like,
this is
literally.
one of those movies.
This is one of those that gets shoved to the back. It's on the bottom of the red box thing.
And it has so many stars.
It's so star-studded, but here's the thing.
It's so crappy.
It's so crappy. They'll do anything for a paycheck.
That's right.
Especially in the age where, like, not many movies are getting made right now.
Well, on that note.
Yeah, on that note, this has been
the show.
Pitch. This has been the elevator pitch. Of course, we made our choice, but we're going to leave it up to you at home. We talked about the posters. We make posters for each movie that we come up with, so you can go check those out and cast your vote on our social media. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at TEP_pod. Again, TEP_pod. TEP_pod. Like I said at the beginning, tell your friends about us, share it with people if you think that, if they like movies. I feel like we're right up their alley. Especially if they like,
stupid movies.
Stupid movies. But yeah, so tell them about us. Go leave us a review, leave us a rating, tell us how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you. But that's about everything we got. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.